Welcome back to Zaka Stokvel Insights. This week, we look at investment stokvel groups once more and the various investment opportunities available within the markets with my guest expert, Anrich van Jaarsveld. Anrich, growth seems to be an important issue for many stokvels, which is understandable. But what does growth really mean here?
I think if you can break down growth in terms of a stokvel group, on the first side it would be membership or the growth in numbers of the actual stokvel group. So what you'd want to do there is, what is the identity of a stokvel? What are our objectives? Because once you have that aligned, you're going to attract the right people, and that's going to lead to membership growth. In order to achieve that membership growth, you have to be visible. So no one's going to know of a stokvel if you're living under a rock, so you need exposure. So networking with the community, being visible on social media platforms, marketing yourself, this is who we are, this is what we do. I mean, that will give you your membership growth. Secondly, if we are assuming this is a more investment-aligned stokvel group, you want to make profit or actually increase your money of the group and the members. So there would be, how are we going to achieve this and what is our investment strategy? Are you going to take a more neutral or conservative approach, or do we want an aggressive approach? Is it going to be short-term, long-term? So I think once you break that down and it's available, then you can achieve growth in both those areas.
It also sounds like they need to change their mindset and look at stokvels as a business. And why should they be looking at it as a business?
I think because as time progresses, systems and different entities become more complex. So, 50 years ago, a stokvel was a very simple initiative or financial initiative. You had X amount of members and you distributed funds. Now we see a lot of new trends on stokvels becoming much larger, moving into new directions. So I think that will help a lot with achieving those objectives.
Now, Anrich, this question that Baitsusi mentioned, it didn't sound clear. They mentioned that they wanted to either invite a financial services provider or they wanted to register as a financial services provider. So let's just look at it in both ways.
Okay.
What's the benefit of having to include an FSP into their strategy?
I think, firstly, if you include a company that is already registered as an authorized financial services provider, you have that level of reputation and trust. So we are associated with this company. They have a reputation in the industry. So that will automatically, they won't associate with someone that is fraudulent or something like that. So that will give a stokvel group a lot more credibility to gain new members and to get more growth for existing members. If you go in the other direction of, okay, we want to establish ourselves as an FSP or authorized financial services provider, I think it's not an obligation for a stokvel to do that. However, if they further down the line plan to provide financial advice or services to their members, they will have to do that and then be in compliance with all the regulations in terms of legislation and their members being accredited to do that.
What is the process involved with having to register as an FSP?
So if you want to register a new company as a FSP or financial services provider, you have to do that with the FSCA, Financial Sector Conduct Authority. So you'll fill out all the application forms, submit the supporting documentation. Normally it takes around 6 to 8 weeks. I can be corrected if I'm wrong on that time frame. And then once that is approved, that the application is approved, they will be assigned the FSP number. So that will be, it's usually a 5-digit number. And that number, like when you hear an advert, always company X is an authorized financial services provider. They have to state that, and in all documentation that they send out to members or external stakeholders, that FSP number has to appear there and state that they are an authorized financial services provider.
Now, Anrich, we do know that, each stokvel is different. One may succeed and one may actually not and collapse. What can Baitsusi Group do to stay away from, the latter and not collapse and just continue growing and improving their membership growth as well?
Yeah, I think they'd like to start internally. So just make sure that the basics is done correctly. So due diligence, accurate record keeping, the constitution of a Stokvel group, what is your objective, mission and vision, so that is correct and there. And then secondly, without members or an increase in membership, it's likely that we are not going to succeed. So once the basics are in place, then we have to move on to the next step. How do we increase our membership? And I think we discussed the processes of that already, of marketing, being visible in the community, putting yourself out there. This is our identity, this is who we are. Yeah, so I think if they can follow that approach, there's no reason why they should not be successful.
Are there any institutions or platforms out there that can actually hold their hand when it comes to making such decisions?
There are various platforms. There's one app that I'm aware of where you can actually apply for a membership or pay a membership fee, and they do all of that for you. So even, let's say this group is in the beginning stages of they're not sure how everything functions, they want someone to do that on their behalf. I would advise that they be a member of the specific app that offers all these services, and once they're well acquainted with, okay, this is how it works, this is what we need to do, almost like spectator and then get in the game. Then once they're comfortable with everything, then they can expand and do it themselves.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Anrich. We hope to have you back here again. Wishing you all of the best.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
If your Stokvel or Burial Society needs to know more about this broad topic, please do contact us. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.
This program was brought to you by Thai Vision Media, helping Stokvels and burial societies reach their goals.